How's been the first few months getting here and the excitement of this baseball team?
Yeah, it's been great. Everything you hope for relative to support, excitement. I came here with an idea that there's no school in the country that loves their baseball more than LSU, and definitely have seen that. You know, the first inter squad game, I think we had like 1,800 people here, and that was exciting. And really hasn't tailed off a whole lot over 4 weeks. So really appreciative of that relative to the support we get, the energy, the enthusiasm that people have for our program. I think it makes it a special and unique place. So that's been great. And then just the commitment and buy-in of the players so far has been awesome. It's a new process, a new way of building, and they've responded really well to it.
I know we've asked you this a couple times since just talking with you, but just the pitching staff and just what have you seen, I guess, over the last couple of weeks in terms of their development and some of the scrimmages that they've had?
Yeah, I think it's been really positive, Glenn. I think that they're throwing strikes, and for me, that's always the foundation of quality pitching. And I think Coach Kelly's done a really good job with simplifying things for them and giving them a good starting point or foundation for where they need to go. We certainly have a lot of good arms, in my opinion. That really these next couple scrimmages, we want to get some experience behind some guys. So we'll roll it out in a way where the guys that need to take advantage of those opportunities will probably get them.
Just one guy that I just noticed and was talking to a little bit is Blake Money. It looks like he's dropped a few pounds. He's looked like just a totally different guy. I mean, just what have you seen from him, I guess, this fall?
Very good start to the fall. I think he hadn't actually given up a run until last weekend in terms of his maybe one run prior to that. But he's here every single day. You know, you mentioned the body change. He needed to move better to be able to command the ball better. And literally, he is here working on his own every day from a physical conditioning standpoint. And I've seen some real positives relative to, like I said, how he moves down the mound, how he gets to a consistent release point, how he executes his pitches. And he's had a lot of success so far this fall, and that's a nice development for our team.
Kind of found out about this team?
Yeah, I think, again, the starting point of everything we do is building towards where we want to be. And I think the foundational blocks of what they're putting together so far are good. We're playing a scrimmage game on Sunday. We're not totally ready to play a game as far as having everything in that I would like to. But as we're hitting the marks along the way, you're seeing consistent improvement in terms of the hitters taking really tough at bats, moving the offense. Defense, we've caught the ball very well and thrown the ball and controlled it on defense really well, which will support our pitching staff. And as I mentioned, you know, they're throwing strikes. They're no different than a lot of teams I've seen, and they're really competitive. You know, when it's an inter-squad game, they want to be on the right side of that. And I think that's a good starting point because it's important to me that our program values winning more than any other team that we play.
What's some things you want to see from the scrimmage?
I think it's reactions of players to both success and failure, and really develop some consistency and a mindset of playing the game one pitch at a time, and being in tune with the play and what are the objectives of what we're trying to do in an at bat and executing a pitch on a defensive play and stay to the task at hand and not get sped up because there's somebody in the other dugout or a different color jersey or fans in the stands. And so we'll learn a lot about their players and their responses and how we need to improve going forward. So that's probably the most important thing. And then also it breaks up. They've been training hard. I mean, we started the first day of school in terms of getting in the weight room. So to get something that's a little different from a competitive aspect, I believe will bring out the best in most of them.
I know another big part of this is just trying to keep the team healthy. Just how are you guys holding up in terms of just health and
Yeah,
everybody?
pretty good. I mean, we've came into the fall with some guys having some things. Some of them have moved past them and are back on the field. Some guys we're still holding back and being a little bit careful with and trying to time that up for them being ready in the spring. And the nature of their injury is kind of forced them to take a little bit of a back seat right now, and that's just the way it goes.
I think a lot of fans get pretty excited when they see some of the exit velos that are tweeted out and some of those things that become public after some of these scrimmages, and it less about, and coach says, hey, a guy can really handle the bat. You know what I mean? So is there already kind of an offensive identity to kind of what you've seen already at the plate?
Well, we're working towards that, and I think something that's important for me is we have to be able to win any type of game. We're talking a slugfest on a Sunday or Tuesday, 2-1, 3-2 pitchers do on a Friday. I mean, the SEC is going to demand that, and so we don't want to get wrapped into one style of play and kind of have a full playbook. You know, the analogy I've always given: if we're a football team and they stuff like 8 or 9 people in the box, we have to be able to get the ball out quick and throw it. If they're going to give us room to run, we have to be able to do that. And so in terms of this building progression, not all of it's in, but some of the key foundations of how to move the offense, get the leadoff guy on base, put 3 quality at-bats together in a row. We're making some good strides on those things. And so I think you'll see some of it. I thought there was a big jump between week 3 and week 4 in terms of the quality at-bats. And if you look back at what we're doing, it would make sense that it's starting to happen right about now.
What's some of the things that you want to get in?
I think, we're really trying to simplify and really hammer our approach, relative to how we handle our at-bats in terms of strike zone management, put ourselves in position to hammer mistakes, really battle with 2 strikes, move the offense, or put the ball in play with runners in scoring position. I mean, honestly, if we got out of the fall with a really good handle on those 3 things, I'd be happy.
Has it been fun for you to kind of hit the reset button?
I always enjoy this. Every day is great, for me. I do appreciate the players and their attitude and willingness to be coached. And, I've always said, we're not going to come in here and just have their trust right from the beginning. It's our job to earn that in terms of the platform we're putting forward to their development so they can advance themselves as players, which obviously helps our team. So I think that's been good. I mean, there hasn't been a day where it's like, oh no, we got to do this today. It's exciting to get here and get to work.
Do you see those light bulb moments for that?
For sure, yes. Like I said, this last week for a few guys, like their at-bats from the first weekend would be unrecognizable if they continue to move in this direction. And that's a real good thing. There's no question we have talent, but I've talked about this, like turning that talent into usable skill so it shows up on game day. Like that's what we're trying to do.
You got a recent names now?
Yes, yeah. Haven't had a problem with that.
I do. What need a picture roster this year, Bill?
Yeah.
There's a lot of new
LSU
pitchers.
Sports.net.
Seriously. You can find it on LSU Sports.net.
That would be your podcast. Hi, I'm just
Meet all the new guys.
Yeah, sorry, I came a little late.
That's okay.
I was just wondering what you're looking for out of this Sunday. You get to scrimmage another team.
Yes.
What are you kind of keen in on?
Yeah, I think we're going to get, particularly on the pitching side of it, we're going to get guys out there that need the experience of being out there. You're not going to be able to draw any conclusions from, hey, this guy's starting, this guy's coming in to the end of the game. We're legitimately taking the result out of it and making it like a trial run for those guys. I think relative to the team, the heartbeat's a little different when it's a competition with somebody else and involving another team. And I want to see how guys manage that and how they move in that environment, how they pick themselves up after some failure, how they continue to play through success and really create and establish a way of, on game day, we're going to move in a way winning college baseball teams do. And so I think it's a good opportunity to learn what that looks like through some success and identify that and some failure and working through that and really just players' responses to things.
Is it hard to determine after these past couple of scrimmages what the strengths are since you're playing against each other? Are there certain aspects of the game that you might be a little concerned about going into this?
Yeah, I don't really use that word, concerned.
Yeah.
I think it's an opportunity to where do we need to improve, where do we need to get better. I think so much of this has been about a process of development that, we're going from step A to B to C to D. As I don't want the players, I haven't gone too far down the road of going okay, this is a problem area. I think we're not to that point yet. I think I'm excited about the competitiveness just in a normal inter-squad game. These guys really want to win, and as I said, they have to really value winning and be willing to stay in tune with the things that it takes to win. So I think that's a strength, and I think the competitive nature of the team, we're trying to build that. So that's been a real positive. I think the strike throwing of the pitching staff has been a real positive. I think that there's a number of guys that can contribute offensively. I would say that there has been a little bit of maybe separation with a few guys relative to when playing at their best, what they look like, and that's a really good thing. And the rest of them, it's like, how can you create a roadmap for that player to fit into a role that's going to help the team win? And I think we're getting a good blend of all of that right now. Yes, yeah, we're going to throw probably 9 to 10 guys for the 20 innings. I think we'll probably use 10 guys, actually. We'll have a couple different guys try to get through a third inning. We'll throw 6 guys for 2 innings, and then 2 guys for 1 inning. And again, there won't be anything to read into how we're setting it up or what we're trying to do. It's just guys we believe need to get on the mound in this environment, and have to stay focused on their pitch, their plan, and not get outside of that because of the situation being a little bit different.
Anybody you got a good handle on that you're like, hey, I kind of know what you can do. I don't really need to see it as much?
No, because I believe not all of them, but most of them, we'll get most of them on the mound either this Sunday or next Sunday. We have not established like, hey, this guy's moving towards being a starter or anything of that nature. We've elevated some guys' pitch counts just because they've commanded the ball a little bit better, commanded multiple pitches better, and so they get through innings quicker, so you can give them another inning. But the reality is, once we get to that Sunday before Thanksgiving, we have to stop, so we're not building everybody up too far.
It's been a short amount of time, but for the summer and fall so far, been able to add second, third pitches to guys?
It's been good. I mean, there's certain guys that we've changed some release points with to try to give them a little more consistency. Change deliveries to give them a little bit more deception. Develop change-ups. Because that's the one that you can kind of develop in your catch play. So there's been some of that, and I'm excited to see it. From this side of it when we're only on defense, as opposed to where we're on defense and on offense. So we'll experiment with some of that, and you may see a guy throw a pitch that maybe we wouldn't in the spring, because if we're working on it now and he can develop it now, it's going to pay dividends later. So I'm looking forward to that part of it for this weekend.
Are you going to stay in the dugout? Or?
For now, that's the plan. Yes, this the ability to talk to the hitters, slow the game down, keep them in approach, communicate with Coach Kelly on the pitching side of it. And then Coach Fitzgerald's obviously really good at coaching third base. He's done it for a long time. So that's the plan for right now.
So as game like it should make.
Yes.
I don't know if we talked to you since Gavin was awarded the number 8. Can you maybe speak on why, what he brings to this team in general? I mean, we all know, but why he got the number and everything.
Yeah, it was a pretty easy decision, honestly. He's one of the first players that I talked to in person when I got here, and we were talking about the draft and kind of his plan for the draft, and through talking through that, you could kind of see how important being at LSU was to him, and that he was making it about so much bigger than just himself or his future, his goals and his plans. And I thought there was a great degree of selflessness. So you start there in terms of how he handled that situation, and then the positive effect that he has on his teammates. And then there's another element of a few people who I trust and respect. We're like, this is probably the guy. And I didn't need to hear that because he had showed it to me in the actions. But when all those things are lining up, it was a really easy decision. And the thing I value about him so far is it's the same thing every day in terms of great worker, great character, puts others before himself, and everything you want that number to represent.
Did you happen to see that series in Oregon when he just somehow kept lifting it to left field? And it's like every clutch situation he stepped up and.
Yeah, I mean, we were playing in the regional for most of it. I did see probably the back half of the Monday night game, but he obviously, I think he was the MVP of that. I think I saw that somewhere, and you know, he's good, and what I like about it is he's got a good desire to get better too. It's not a finished product. He's been making a few adjustment things that will make him more consistent, in my opinion, and get to that power even more, and understand that you know, he can use the entire field to hit, that he can open up the plate a little bit. So it's been good on and off the field with Gavin so far.
How's the chemistry with the rest of the guys been so far?
I think it's been good, but again, the only way you build chemistry is time and experience, and that's both positive and negative, or adversity and success. Success breeds some confidence, which, you know, can draw people closer together. Adversity forces you to look in the mirror and say, this is what we have to do, and then move forward. So we haven't really had a whole lot of that yet. So I'm very careful to say, hey, like, these guys are tight knit and they're together. Like, that will come in time, and it's just something I've learned is you don't force that.
Anything else? Good. All right.
All right, thanks, guys.
Strong